Well, here's a quick job. This is what the strimmer head is supposed to look like, and this is the one which I didn't modify. Here's the one that I did modify, and you can see it's melted. So if I turn them over, at the back it fits fairly cleanly up against the end of the pipe, and that's all good. Whereas over here, this is all just melted, so I need to take that head off and replace it. Fortunately, they're fairly easy to buy on eBay, so I have one, but I'm going to have to saw off that end nut to try and get that welded or melted piece of plastic off. So let's get on with that. Okay, right. Now, this is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. Right, so now we've got two flat sides. Maybe I can get a spanner on there. I don't know. Let's get a spanner and see what happens. So we'll call that a spanner. And this although that's fairly round, maybe we'll be able to find something to get a purchase on. This really couldn't be any harder. Alright, we'll have to go right the way through the side. Well, I can use a smaller spanner on that now, instead of the whacking great big Stilson, because there's a hex nut on the end of the flexible shaft. And I think all that's needed is to unscrew the bolt, which is it's molded inside this cap. Right, so that spanner is on the hex nut on the end of the flexible shaft. And that, hopefully, is just undoing what should normally undo. Yes. Excellent. Save the spring. You'll always lose the spring. So on my replacement, I picked up the bag and dropped the spring. So, just exactly what I said. So here's the replacement. You've got this hex nut on the end of the rotating shaft. So all of that goes round at strimmer speed. You've got a hex socket here that should, oh come on, fit neatly over that. So that's a good fit. Hurrah. Here's the new strimmer thread, or whatever you call it, string. So let's have one go out that side, one go out that side. The spring goes on there, the nut. I think that might work. So that goes round when the strimmer goes round. Should we put it into action? Let's go out and see if we can strim. It is a bit warm out there. So you'll have to excuse me if I wear a hat. Of course that means you won't recognise me, but it will be me. That works. Ah. All right. Number one, machines never seem to work for me if they're petrol powered. I ought to just accept that and move on, get electric. But anyway, number two, it is Sunday. So in theory, I shouldn't be making noisy engines around here in the middle of this very, very quiet pastoral paradise. But anyway, we haven't got any neighbours today, so who cares? Might scare the crows. Well, I'm going to give up on this for the moment until a day when I'm allowed to be strimming. Oh. I think I'll start harvesting some stone because there's quite a lot of fallen stone on the ground that needs to be picked up before the garden gets stripped and resurfaced as part of the big digger plan. So let me get a wheelbarrow, a pickaxe, and a mattock, and some gloves. That's quieter. I'll do that. Well, that's the bigger ones that are near the surface. When I was rooting around over there, there were loads which were underground as well, so I reckon that when I get the digger man to come, he will undoubtedly scrape this area, find a whole lot more, and then I'll have to shift a whole bunch off. Now there's more at the front of the column barge barn and the end wall of the old building. So we'll move down there, do another couple of wheelbarrow loads, and then call it a day. Come on, it's time to move you into the shade. So this is the side of the column barge barn, and the little gap between the column barge barn and the old end of the house. As you can see, there's a little bit of a crack on that wall over there, and if you look down there, there's a pretty good sized stone that it doesn't look like it's fallen off of that wall, but it came from somewhere. So we're going to address these stones down here probably. And this end wall, that dwarf stone wall at the bottom, looks fairly complete. So where all these stones came from, I'm not quite sure. I mean, there's a little bit of a gap up there at the top of the old wall. But let's just set you down here. And I'll see what I can do with these. That's a bit full. There's more stones in here as well, so I'll have to, when I get the strimmer working, I'll have to strim that down so I can see what's going on. Oh. Oh. Well, I've run out of drinks, so I'm going to put this away and call it a day. There's always more to do. Oh. Whoa. Oh. It doesn't look like very much, but it is really heavy. I don't know whether you watch Yip and Paul. I'll put a link in somewhere around for a video that they did of them moving a load of stones around. But they had a digger and a dump truck thing. No wonder it was easier. Anyway, like and subscribe, please. See you soon.